Hey everybody, Dave Woodson, Realtor with Prime Real Estate, and I am one of the admins of here at Out of the Box. Just waiting for everybody to show up. I am doing something new and exciting here tonight. This is the first time I'm doing it this way. Hold on a minute. Prime Real Estate, and I am one of the admins of here at Out of the Box. Just waiting for everybody to show up. This is the first time I'm doing it with one computer and my iPad right now. This is something new and exciting. I'm trying to learn as I do this. We are a little bit about what's going on. I'm waiting for my two co-hosts to show up tonight. Andrew, Gavin, and Larry, the lender, is supposed to be showing up here any minute now. I just sent them both the link, and they should be signing in any second. But I sold my home last week. We closed on it. And tonight I'm living in my apartment, living in an apartment for the next 3 to 6 weeks while we get our house finished in Chesterton. Hopefully it gets finished on time so we can get out of here before school starts, because I'm already not enjoying the apartment life. And you guys will probably hear that as we go throughout the evening. We're about a block away from the South Shore train line. So if you know Michigan City, if you know Michigan City, you know about where I'm at. I'm on 10th Street in Michigan City, and it's a block away from the South Shore train line. So every hour or so, you're so they come blasting through. So I'm gonna turn record on. Oh, not recording tonight, so we'll leave it at that. This is how the show works. You guys got to ask questions, and if you guys don't ask questions, we really don't have much of a show. Testing out the new AirPods. I guess I bought them last week. They finally came in about 2 weeks ago. Been loving them ever since. They really relieve my ear. Andrew Gavin's on the air. I would do something that week too, buddy. You gotta learn to backbite yourself a little bit to get that light out of the middle of your head.
I know. I could sit up taller, maybe.
Maybe turn it off.
Look at that. You want to make it romantic? I can do that.
No more than usual. Is that Maribel? No, that was Maribel. That's bad. It's better than that bright line shining on me.
Nope.
See, I understand the effects of aesthetics. I have good lights all around me, above me, behind me, to the side of me. I understand. I understand lighting. My lighting is good. Lighting is important to my looks. So I'm hoping you guys can see the questions, because I'm not seeing any questions come through.
Hold on.
Maybe I'll see if I see them that way. I'll see if the questions come through. Normally I have dual monitors up and running. Tonight I do not. I have the iPad running and the laptop running. And the laptop is on Wi-Fi. They're both on Wi-Fi, obviously. So let's talk about your charity first. So you contacted me about 2 weeks ago to do the charity. We didn't do a show last week because it was a national holiday, Memorial Day, which is a Confederate holiday, by the way, for everybody who is celebrating it, who wants to tear down a statue somewhere in the world. And that is a Confederate holiday.
That's right. That means it's not religious, right?
It is not religious. That's correct.
So, all right. So my charity, and my charity doesn't really matter. It's not this. I didn't really want to talk about it. I wanted to talk about the idea of building something to help you, one, feel better about yourself because you're doing something for your community. 2, help your community, and 3, help your business. And it was interesting. I found today, I was one of the boards I'm on. We were voting for. We had 10 charities that we were looking to decide on money to donate to, and we immediately blocked out, I want to say, 5 of the national ones. And the reason was everyone in the room said we need to keep this money local. So for us as a real estate agent, that's perfect, because we want to potentially build some sort of a farm area, be known in a certain part of our territory, and by what I saw today was that, across the board, people unanimously agree that, raising money for charities should potentially stay, local. And so I thought that was pretty powerful. Jessica, I go to this rockabilly place. Uh-oh, Larry's here. Can you hear me okay,
Now I
Dave?
can see the comments.
Can you guys hear me?
It's again, which is very staticky.
Whoa. He's already crying. Look at that.
You got a kid in the background, which we don't do kids in the background.
Well,
There's a
I
dog
had to do
Wives in
this
the
at,
background, we do wives in the background. We do not do kids in the background.
I had to do this at home because today's wife's birthday, so I had to at least be home during this event. So I normally would do this at the office so that there will be no interruptions. But yes,
You're
so
fine.
forgive the children, okay?
But if the kid screams too much, I swear to God, I'll come down to Dallas and I'm not afraid to smack a kid. I've done it before.
You would be welcome to do that, sir.
So how old's the wife?
34.
Married him young.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Got a
38.
storm going on there or
so
something?
say what?
I'm just teasing you. So we're talking charities for a few minutes. Let's go back to Andrews. We get this charity thing out of the way. See, I'm not opposed to charity, but I guess I just have a very
Cold heart.
I feel like the Pharisee on the street corner, renting his clothing and look at me, how fucking cool I am. That's what I feel like when some realtors do their charities.
But I mean, I feel like that sometimes when realtors show up at the office.
That's true. I'll give you that. But at least they're out there doing something. See, the charity is just an extension of their business. And if they weren't doing their business, they weren't selling homes or doing mortgages or something like that, they wouldn't give two shits about this charity.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
So in my charity is my church, and
perfect.
I donate to Goodwill and things like that. I don't walk around going, "Oh, look at me! I donated to Dogs and Suds or dogs or kids on bikes without helmets."
Yeah, absolutely, and that would be, you would look like an idiot if you did that. But what you want out of this is to do something that you love and you're passionate about, that you care about. If that's donating to your church or supporting a cause that's maybe not, touches your heart, but it's part of your church, which you're a part of, and people are constantly seeing you doing those things, they're going to start to look at you differently without you saying anything. If you run around saying, I donated whatever money to this, well, they're going to, that's like if you brag about all your closings and listings and appointments all the time.
Larry, you need to get this shit figured out. You're going to drop you, buddy.
I'm here.
So someone's feeding back.
Well, no, what I did was I went to the live on my phone so I can see the questions. That's why I went live on my
phone. Turn your
phone.
phone down then.
I did.
Yeah,
it's off. It's down now.
Okay.
It is.
So John Grimes, this is not the new house. This is the apartment that I'm living in the meantime. So your charity is, what's your charity? What does your charity do? What is your charity's big function? What does your charity support?
Our charity supports kids in the unfortunately the poorest city in San Diego. Those kids are actually singled out based on having either good grades or grades that they've turned around. Good, excellent to perfect attendance, and they have to have good attitudes, good citizenship, and the schools help us source those kids. This same city probably has, probably receives in an annual year 400 or 500 free bikes. but those are delivered in chunks to 200 kids at a time. And they just kind of go through an assembly line type of thing. And it's not the same. And my charity, the things that go on with it are unique to this city and to a few of the relationships. So we're very lucky that the way it works out. But that whole community, I just started it. My wife and I decided to have this event. We had no idea what would happen, but we took it as it didn't matter, and we needed year one to happen. And so we just put it together. If we had raised $100, we still would have done more than zero, and we would have helped one or two kids. That first year, we were able to buy 65 bikes. And then at that point, I had all kinds of content to repurpose and share for the following year. And year two, we raised $13,500, and we delivered 142 bikes. This year, our goal is 200.
Do you integrate your charity into your business? If so, how?
Yes. So now talking like you'd mentioned, I'm not a fan of like bragging about it this way. I think a lot of these, unfortunately, I'll use Homes for Heroes just because it's common. And if I'm not mistaken, they're a for-profit company, but the idea of, saying, do business with me and I'm going to donate to my charity, that would make me feel like a douchebag. What I do with my business or with my effort and my charity is every time I have a closed transaction, during escrow, I explain to my client about our charity. Then they get invited. I tell them that they're going to get invited to our event as a VIP guest because I'm taking $250 of this commission and putting it directly towards that charity. The reason I do it that way is because, the most important reason is I want them to have a reason to stay connected to me after the sale, because they're getting the updates on not me and the market, but on what's happening with our charity. They become part of my tribe. But what I believe is if they're in a situation where they are going to, say, be talking about real estate or an agent, an opportunity to refer me, what's going to happen is, oh, well, Andrew did a good job. If I didn't, they wouldn't be talking about me. And he donates to this charity, or even better, he runs this charity, and he invited us to a VIP party after our closing. And so they take that information and turn it into a way to draw in people, but I'm not doing it. I'm just including them. But by the way I set up the invite during closing, explaining everything, they're getting invited. Even if they don't come, they still got invited to this special event. So it really changes the conversation and the way that they look at it, to make it more interesting than, just saying, if you do business with me, I'll donate some money. I mean, that's not charity. That's expecting.
Do you donate in your name, your brokerage's name, or your client's name?
Well, so it's it runs through ours. So I just put the money in. There's no one that gets named unless someone that donated wanted a tax deductible receipt, which legally that couldn't happen in this situation. I couldn't donate for them and give them that receipt. So we just put the money in, and so it's it's simple. It works, but it gives me more than, it probably gives me 20 updates a year to contact those people and everyone else about something other than real estate. And it's something that people just, they're into helping people. It allows them to, do things that they might not do on their own. And the stories that have come out of it are pretty impressive. And those are the things that become the really good content. We gave a bike to a girl this year, and a senior. We had an essay contest for this particular group, and she won essay contest. And immediately when we delivered the bike, she said, "I don't want this bike. I want to give it to another student." That student was a special needs student. We ended up calling his parents, speaking to his parents. His mom said, "Oh, he can ride a bike. He loved riding bikes, but we haven't been able to buy a bike in 4 or 5 years for him after he grew out of his last one." So we explained that she was a girl that won a bike, wanted to give him hers, and she said it was good. We took this girl with us to the other class, and she was able to give her bike that she won to a boy that she knew would love it, and more than him. I mean, and this is these are 2 high school kids, a fairly popular, 11th grade girl and a special needs boy that, you wouldn't think they would even know each other potentially. Going in a little bit more, we were talking to this girl, and we asked her, well, how'd you get involved with these kids, or why'd you do this? And she said, well, I knew that he wanted a bike, but I knew that he couldn't ride an essay, and I knew that even if he did, he probably wouldn't win. So she wrote it for him. And then we asked her, when did you start working with these kids? And she explained that the previous year that they had a student committed suicide in her school, and she said, well, after that happened, I really felt like maybe if we spoke to that particular student more, he would have known he had more friends than he thought and wouldn't have done what he did. And, those are things that they don't have anything to do with us doing business, but those are the things that cause people to follow you and to buy into what you're doing.
Can you, this might seem a little self-serving, can you track any business back to this? Not to your charity, or not?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can. I mean, it's pretty easy. The people that are involved in that, most of them, if it was someone that comes through that part of my life, I would put it 100% towards the charity. Anything else, because most of our friends and family are involved, I would just consider that a family referral. But yeah, I mean, people in our service club that helps us deliver these bikes, people in the chamber. I mean, that city knows who we are now. Just after year 2, now people are calling us to be involved, and that's what's really impressive. It's this event and this effort has taken on a life of its own. And Maribel and I own this. We can do what we want with it. Everyone knows that I'm a real estate agent, and I get to stay in contact with all these people because they're following along, wondering what's going on with the kids, watching the updates, and all these things. I mean, it's besides the fact that everyone, the 3 of us on this video right now, as well as anyone watching, we're all doing pretty good. You're drinking wine, I got a beer, we're on computers, and half of those guys are probably on a $600 cell phone. Every one of us should be doing something to give back, because we're just
on his flip phone.
That's right. Yeah. So yes.
So to answer your question there, David, what's the wine tonight? Black Box is the wine tonight. I went and bought a Black Box Malbec tonight, and I'm drinking out of the box tonight. So do you give all your commissions to charity, or in some situations, or just always just partial?
No, it's all partial. Yeah, I'm not. It's not. We put on. We have an event that costs us about $2,000. That's my piece to help raise the money. It's an event. It's a party that we would also have some version of that almost annually. So we're kind of doubling down, but but yeah, it works out pretty good. 100% of the profit does go to purchase bikes. This year we raised more money than we needed for our goal, And I honestly, I felt horrible. Like I had almost $6,000 left over, and I told Maribel, I said, I don't feel right saving this money to build towards next year. You know, I said everyone that donated this money expected us to buy some kids bikes, so we went out and figured out a way to find more kids to give bikes to, because I just felt that was my job. You
Hey,
know,
just
as a
because you're a
steward of their
nonprofit
money.
doesn't mean you don't get to make a profit.
Ideally, I mean, you could pay for costs. Most nonprofits pay for, you know, all their admin, and if they have a building or anything, you know, I mean, Susan G. Komen, you know, they probably, you know, or the ADA or Leukemia Society, all those guys, you know, are in like a 10 to 20% donation to 80% going to run the charities. But that's kind of our thing, is we are doing this. That's our piece to help the whole project.
Sorry, I'm getting a Zillow lead.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Excellent. Quick, give him an instant offer.
You know what? You guys talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna go make a phone call.
All right. All right, let's switch topics to Larry desperately wants to explain to us why Zillow is trying to put us all out of business.
Well, before that, I actually was listening in on what you're talking about with your charity, and can you hear me? Good or fine?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I worked for a branch manager who said that, and of course, you know, this is to battle Rocket Mortgage, right? He said that we can't win the fight against Rocket Mortgage, but we can win the fight in our own backyard, is what he said, right? So
Okay.
the way he kind of presented it is like, we have to be a part of the community. We have to sponsor events that are local, you know, maybe you know, something school related, and charities is one of the things he talked about. And you know, obviously, you know, to give back, but at the same time, kind of bring a spotlight to you within your own local community. You know, so he looked at it as a double benefit. You're not only helping people, but you're also promoting yourself, branding yourself, or, you know, putting your name out there. Either way. So I believe that there is a great benefit to involving
Oh,
yourself in
absolutely.
a charity. Yeah, whether it's something you created, or, you know, whether it's something that, you know, so you're just helping sponsor an event or some sort. Myself, I'm not quite there yet. What I mean by that is I don't have a local presence just yet, because I basically got into this business as a call center loan officer. So my business was all over the country. This is the reason why I joined large groups, because I need to network with different realtors all over the country. But my new lender, they want me to be more hyper local, or focus more on the, you know, the area that we can touch, you know, touch people, meaning we can shake hands, we can visit them, we can go to closings, things like that. So I see
Just to
value
be
in this,
clear,
of course.
our charity is revolving around kids, and we're not allowed to touch them. So.
Well, yeah, okay. well, we can shake the hands of the adults, though, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that's okay.
Yes, that's funny. Yeah, Dave. So, how are we gonna do this? What do you want to talk about, Zillow? I think I'm the lone sheep here that believes that Zillow could be part of the evolution that maybe makes more humans, not necessarily agents, buyers or sellers agents, obsolete. There's a lot of tasks that go on in a transaction that could be replaced by, you know, automation. It might be agents at some point, but I don't see that. At the same time, it's plainly obvious that Zillow is a website that has a lot of traffic, and at the same time, why it seems like agents think they're against us, they also feel that they want to be on Zillow with their advertising, as well as their listing should be on there. So it's a little, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like you're picking all the positives that you want out of the bowl, and it doesn't make any sense. So Larry, what do you think?
Okay, so of course I'm going to have to have a disclaimer. I'm not a realtor. Okay, I don't know how it feels to be a realtor. I don't know what it takes, meaning the daily grind, what the physical portions of it. I can only imagine, and I can only, of course, recall conversations and such. But I myself have never sold a house or helped someone buy a house. Okay.
Either have Dave or I, so we're good.
Yes. So I'm telling you all this because it seems that automation is something that's, it's happening everywhere, right? We're experiencing it every single day. We're hearing about it. And one of the reasons why I make such a big deal about it is because it's actually impacted my life in other ways. I used to be a graphic designer, web designer. I did that back in the 90s. And it got to the point where a 10-year-old, because I was getting paid $500 an hour to do these websites, right? And the reason I say $500 an hour because it would take me 3 hours or 4 hours to design one website that someone would pay me $2,000 for, right? This is back in the 90s. Now, a 10-year-old can create a website in the same amount of time, and they do it for free, right? I also was able to charge up to $25 to $50 an hour on graphic design, but Fiverr put it in on that into that, right? Fiverr, meaning you can hire anybody to do quick graphic design. It's going to cost you $5, right? So that's just access of other people and resources that automation has basically eliminated what I thought was a specialized job, right? I also used to sell artwork door to door. So framed and matted artwork. And the reason I'm talking about this is because there used to be hundreds of offices all over the country. Now we're down to like 5. And when I say we, I'm talking about the business that I was a part of. They're down to like 5 or less. And a major reason why that's happened is because of like companies like art.com, right? Where you literally
Dinner's ready.
can.
Whenever we mention a new business name, we get a.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
We have a new game that we're playing. I love it.
So art.com, is that what you're saying? So like I said, art.com, it became an objection people gave. Say, well, I can buy the same thing at art.com. The truth of the matter is they really couldn't, but it doesn't mean that I'm special, right? It means that they can replace me, just go on the internet. So bringing the product to them doesn't impress them anymore. And then I sold cars. I did really well. But a lot of the big problems that we had were companies like TrueToCar.com, AutoTrader.com, even CarMax is an issue because CarMax, they pay the people differently, and because of that, the negotiating power is gone. We would lose money on the car, so we try to make it up on the trade-in. Well, you can't really do that when CarMax is involved.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. That's actually pretty unique, the CarMax thing, because being a car guy, you probably know there's a ton of people that walk out of CarMax. Like CarMax, their business model is you're paying what we want you to pay, or we're not selling it to you. And
right.
And that's kind of like if we go back to a couple of weeks back, Dave, when I was saying you either show a new client a property or you set an appointment and try and get them to sign a contract. And they're kind of lines in the sand both ways, but I find that interesting. I do want to expand on the car salesman thing because I think there's a correlation, but also something significantly different that gets overlooked when we are compared to car salesmen. Hi, puppy.
Hey, puppy. So I'm almost finished, right? Just kind of talk about my own experience. But and the reason why I talk about the car salesman job, right, is because I've always been told that no one wants the salesperson, right? They want the car, but they don't want the salesperson. So we're a necessary evil, right? In order to look at the car, in order to drive the car, get the keys to the car, they need a salesperson or car consultant, whatever you want to call it. Well, obviously, if they can eliminate the car salesman, that's going to make the experience for the customer a lot better, even if they have to pay a little bit more. It's just the fact that they're doing car salesmen because we, I guess, have a bad rap, right? Being car salesmen. And I think they look at realtors. I'm not saying realtors are on the same level. I mean, obviously, I think being a realtor is a little bit more reputable than being a car salesperson. But
Not much.
you're still essentially, well, but I mean, I'm more proud to call myself a realtor than I would a car salesman. Right?
Oh, I give you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But again,
But I do
realtor's
believe this
still,
business is fundamentally changing every day.
of course.
And I liken it to let's go back to the car guy. There's like 2 or 3 car guys I pay attention to on YouTube. They sell a shit ton of cars and they do videos. They're out there every day, and what are they offering? They're offering a service. They're telling you about the car long before you even think about buying the damn thing. I am learning now. I want a Ford F-150. I want a Ford F-150 so bad I can taste it because I'm tired of driving a car. But I want a diesel F-150, and there's nothing out there but a diesel F-150. But every day I go to Town and Country on YouTube, Town and Country. I can't even what it's called, Town and Country something or other. And I watch this guy's videos about him talking about F-150s or the latest Ford car. He's telling me about what's going on with this house, what's going on with this neighborhood, and Zillow is not doing that. There's no one going out there and telling me about this house, telling me about this neighborhood. They're giving me the wide strokes, the broad strokes. If you want to be a good realtor, what are you laughing at?
Daniel.
Oh. I'm reading the questions too. The haircut comment, right? It's pretty funny. Yeah.
It actually is.
We've all seen Daniel's
because he's all
haircut,
trying
right?
to be serious, and then you got Daniel up. He's like waving a lollipop in his house.
Oh,
well, Bob, it's Town and Country. I can't remember the exact. It's Town and Country something or other, but it's something that I go to on a daily basis. I can tell you that the other one's auto vlog. So
the car salesman thing, like, tie that to a real estate agent.
If you want to stay on top of the game, you don't want to be replaced by a computer. Offer a service, offer more information than the average bear. There's a guy here locally who tried to do the Town and Country thing, but he never practiced scripts, never had a good script, and every time he went through the car, every new feature surprised the shit out of him. And people were catching that on his videos. And it was like, I told him, and I knew him personally. He's like, dude, if you want to be good at video, I'm not saying that I'm a master of video, because Lord God knows, watch these damn things. You know I'm not a master of video.
Okay, so if
it's
I was
empty. Go get another one.
If I was a car salesman today, right, I would definitely be using video and social media. Yes, definitely, 100%, right? But this is the thing, Dave, and I noticed this as I was, of course, working as a car salesman. It got to the point where I had to sell more cars to make the same money as I did when I first started. And it's because the profit margins started going lower and lower and lower. Again, because websites like TrueCar.com, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I mean, it's like the bane of new car sales. Like a customer waves a sheet of paper that shows who bought what for how much. So they show you in this area, you can get it for this price, or you can get it for that price. And it gets to the point where they don't even go to dealerships anymore. Because they used to go to 5 dealerships. Now they go to 1.5. That's the statistic now. And the main reason why is because they can get everything on the internet. And it makes it, whose train is that? Not my train.
That's the bad news about the apartment that I'm living in. I'm a block away. I'm a block away from the train station.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. So you sold your house, and now you can only afford an apartment?
No, I can't afford an apartment. Our house is in Chesterton.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, so when the house is done in Chesterton, we're moving out of this. We're moving out of this place with a crystal on the wall somewhere.
Wait, so it looks like you fully decorated the place. I mean, how long do you plan to stay in
No,
that
no, no.
apartment?
It is a fully decorated place. My mother-in-law does
Oh,
Airbnb
okay.
with this place.
Oh, okay, got it.
So,
That makes more
Oh, nice.
sense. So yeah, like I was saying,
give me one second,
profit margin.
so I can tell Bob to shut the fuck up. It's Town and Country TV. So I messed up one word. Town and Country TV.
Uh, so like I said, the profit margins start getting lower and lower and lower, right? And then I was talking about CarMax. The thing about CarMax is that that offer was good at any CarMax within like a certain area. So the fact that there was a network and it's in the system, it makes it so that they can get a quote from one location and drive all the way across town and buy a car and show the CarMax price, even though they got it priced at another location. Because sometimes appraisers are different depending on where you're at, right? So again, with trade-ins, we couldn't profit there either because they were getting the CarMax value, the CarMax price. So I believe the same thing is going to happen in the real estate industry because they're going to make it so that the amount of commission you can make is lower because of the services these websites are creating, or the services that this website is offering is going to drive the price or drive the amount of profit you can make as a realtor.
So I'm
And I think
gonna disagree. And there's one major difference that will never change for real estate to what you just described with the car industry, and that's that the fact that every house that we have to sell is owned by a different person. CarMax, every car that they sell is owned by them. Ford, Nissan, Chevy, it's the same guy. So like
But there is
that, like
there is a company out there, and I don't know the name of it, where they're putting a lockbox on the door. They're
Tor,
allowing so they're allowing people to
TOR.
go into the house from like 9 to noon or 9 to 10. You're given a code to get into the house,
mhm.
and it's for someone owners. There is that
It,
company right now. I don't know who it is, and I
it's
know Leslie Zebersol
Dave.
talked about it a couple times.
It's called I think it's called Tor, TOOR, and it's being developed by the people at Shark Tank. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
I mean, you might be right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone pitched to the guys at Shark Tank, and I guess so they invested or whatever, paid $200,000 for 10%, I guess equity, whatever, and it's literally an app-driven lockbox.
Hey,
So you
jackass,
can
is
use
my
your
fucking
phone.
shoe.
There he goes
Uh,
talking to his wife again. God, that's so mean.
yeah, but you can use your phone to get into.
You know what's genius about the car industry is
What?
Carfax. Carfax is the greatest thing
Hmm.
created ever. These clowns made these stupid reports that aren't even official because there's another one that's more important, and they sold it to the general public with tons and tons of advertising. You have to have the stupid Fox sign off on your car that it wasn't like pissed on. And now every dealer in the U.S. pays a subscription to give those things away free. It's amazing.
Right.
It's the most
So
awesome product that's probably ever been existed. Like I
okay,
love.
okay. So Andrew, so it's funny because people ask me for the Carfax whenever they were buying pre-owned cars, right?
Right.
And we had to pay like $20 to print it out, right?
Right.
And we give it to them, and they might be like, okay, thanks, and walk away, and that's it. We just lost $20,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's
It
what
happened all the
If
time.
you don't show it,
people would call us. We would run their credit report, give it to them, and we never hear from them again.
yeah. But the funny thing, Larry, is if you didn't give them the Carfax when they're talking about wanted to buy the 1982 Datsun 210, is they would think you're a liar. Like, oh, what are you hiding? What are you hiding?
Yes,
You guys are
absolutely.
dirtbags.
Absolutely. So again, I mean, you're starting to see. I mean, I experience all sorts of technological annoyances when I was selling cars. Okay, and people always brought up KBB, right? KBB was a book, right? And then all of a sudden it became an internet website. That was a huge headache. And the only rebuttal that we came up with that I was taught was, okay, well, if you say KBB is offering this much, then why don't you sell it to them? Well,
No,
KBB
good
doesn't
point.
make
So
cars.
in that same situation, so when I had my retail business, which was a commodity product, bicycles, and there was probably anybody that was standing inside my store most likely passed at least 2 bike shops from their house or from their job. And they would do the same thing. They would be online looking for QR codes for the 15 minutes that those were popular. And they would, have pull up websites and show you this. And the truth is, whoever they were comparing it to, they didn't actually want to buy it from them. They just didn't want to get ripped off. So all you had to do was that's when you have to create a fair deal somehow. And you have that opportunity in that situation, even if they come to you, because if someone comes to you, no one's going to come to you and say, hey, I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't want you involved in my sale, but I'll do business with you if you match this price. Bullshit. Like, there's something that happened before they
if
got
you match that price, you're going to deal with their bullshit for the next 3 weeks.
right. Yeah. They're hoping they're hoping
I'll
that
be right
you
back,
do
guys.
something different, because there's information that they're not sharing with you, and that's their
Right.
in their mind, their leverage. But you buckle because you want to make a sale, right?
Right. Especially when the managers are giving us unit bonuses to meet so that we can get money from them instead. So instead of profiting from the actual product, we're getting paid by the dealership. Who knows how they're making a profit, but there must be something there that they're giving away, right?
Sure.
So,
So
I mean, if you looked at my commission report, dude, I mean, I would say that there were times where I had $20,000 in losses on selling the car,
yeah,
but I still made commission because, again, they figured out a way to work it in there. But
sure.
it wasn't abnormal to lose money in the car just to make the deal, like you said, right?
But the fact that a homeowner is always going to a single homeowner is always going to be the seller versus someone coming in and buying up 200 houses and reselling them, sitting on that inventory, controlling that thing. I mean, that's like a new construction builder a new builder doesn't give a rat's ass what Zillow does or anybody else because they own the inventory. You're forced to work with their car salesman that sits in the office who in our area, they don't even show you the properties. They don't try and sell them to you. They just point and leave the doors unlocked. And if you want something, you have to come back and talk to them. That's the closest thing to a car salesman. It's, if I could stand in front of a street and there was 7 houses for sale and no one could go in unless I let them in, I mean, I most likely over a period of time, I'd have 7 sales, don't you think? There's a good chance of that, but
Yes.
it's not like that. So, that's the fundamental difference, I think, with the way that car sales and housing is we don't know who the buyer is, and we don't really know where the next seller is going to pop up. And so that makes it tough. But you're talking about automation being a problem, and I agree. That automation will remove some humans from the transaction, but I don't know that it's going to remove the real estate agent, which is the big topic right now. And targeting Zillow being the most popular hated company, the big green elephant in the room, or whatever color your elephant is, I don't care. Is silly. I mean, they at the end of the day, the 3 of us and everyone watching, we're all small business owners. Zillow's a big business. you guys, no one on this watching right now would want Dave, because he would be the guy that would do that. He's that type of person, to call NAR and tell them to force any one of you guys to stop doing something. And that's what that stupid, Stop Zillow thing is a bunch of small business owners trying to bully a big business owner. And I understand that. And the truth is, Zillow being a platform, they're not taking, if you can point to losing business to Zillow, you still didn't lose it to Zillow because it went through Zillow to another agent. So it's not Zillow. They created an opportunity, and consumers and agents are taking advantage of it.
Well, Larry, like you said last week, the sky is falling, and every time the sky falls, I make more money. I get more business.
Yes, and okay. So remember, you guys are the upper echelon, right? You're already prepared. I mean, why are we involved in these groups? Well,
I'm not.
I would assume, but I mean, you guys are active on social media. Obviously, you have your own way of marketing and promoting, but not everyone is the same level, right? And you gotta understand, my business, a part of it is from people like you, and a part of it is from people who aren't like you, and those people are going to eventually, I believe, disappear, and therefore potentially cut my business in half. Right.
Larry, did you see? Look at Jessica. She's attacking you. Look at her.
Penny. She's attacking, not attacking me. I think there was
I think Larry's saying that we're overpaid. That realtors are overpaid.
There was a saying a couple years ago. Technology won't replace agents. There was a saying a couple years ago. Technology won't replace agents. Agents who use technology will.
Yes. Now, okay, so I kind of talked to you about my personal experience, but now I'm going to talk to you about what I see happening, right? And this is where I guess, my paintings are in a bunch, okay? Okay, first of all.
So Larry has a crystal ball. Dave has special jewels pounded into his wall. I'm sitting here with nothing. I got an empty beer, no magic. Like, it's not a fair fight.
you got whatever you rub to get a Maribel, so don't worry about that.
This is true. It's my ace in a hole.
Okay. So recently, when I say recently, like about a year ago, 2 years ago, Zillow bought .loop, right? .loop is, of course, you guys know what that is. It's like an e-doc signing thing, right? Like you're able to electronically sign documents. We use it as well. The reason why
Zillow owns it.
Yes, Zillow bought it about 2 years ago, right? The reason why I'm concerned about them having the control of .loop, what do you think is happening with that? They have all these documents in their database, so they know of every single transaction that's going through .loop. So what does that mean? They're farming these documents for data.
You're assuming that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
let's be honest. There was a program that I pushed like 6 months ago, and it was emailing my clients updates like, you use Comcast, sign up for Comcast, sign up for Dish, sign up for DirecTV. And the moment I found that out, god damn it! Welcome to Michigan City, people, where we celebrate the fucking June 5th.
Oh man, we need a Dave's cussing again bell. Like,
I hate that. I hate this town for that simple reason right there. We will light fireworks off for any goddamn reason there is.
But see, this is realtors. This is why you don't prospect people that live in apartments. They are just nuts. It's got to be a townhouse or a renter. Like, apartment people are just crazy.
I haven't lived in an apartment since I was in college.
Okay, so again, I really believe that Zillow is And when I say they're the biggest or the most popular, everyone's watching them, right? I mean, they're literally the biggest name when it comes to real estate information. So whatever they're doing, everyone's watching. So it's not even really about what they actually do or progressively accomplish, but it's perception, right? All these people are watching them, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, Zillow's starting to create a platform for people to instantly sell their house, right? Well, now other people have come up with ideas like, well, let's figure out a way to instant approve somebody, and therefore, like, my job will be in jeopardy, right? I already know that Zillow is involved in the mortgage business. They acquired a mortgage technology company, I think like 5 years ago or something like that. So they're making a lot. I mean, if you look at their Wikipedia, there's like major acquisitions they're making that just, it doesn't seem innocent, right? It seems like they're doing a lot more than just becoming a marketing platform. I mean, why would they buy
Think of it this way, Larry. And Valerie, my broker, brought up a very good idea. I should actually do a show with just me and her, so you guys can understand what it's like to be my broker. Because just like Lowe's did when they were mining when we were sending our information to Lowe's. Now Lowe's has started their own brokerage.
Yep. That was about 2 years ago, I think.
I don't think Zillow's ever going to start their own brokerage. I really don't.
Have you guys ever used eBay? Bought anything or searched on eBay?
Not in years, but I did. I have used it.
Yes. Yes, I have.
How'd you pay for it?
PayPal.
Yeah, I use PayPal.
How long and how long was Visa, MasterCard out before PayPal popped up?
Oh, a century,
20, 30,
maybe?
50 years, forever?
I think forever. I mean, that's what I would say. Yeah.
20 years, 30 years at least.
If you saw a news report that said Visa and MasterCard called the credit bureau and told them to put PayPal out of business because they're taking business from us because they made it easier to make a transaction, you would laugh. You would fall on the floor laughing. And that's what these 13,000 agents are doing. Like, it's just silly.
Well, I mean, again, it's about perception, right?
But so David Fresco, you can buy real estate right now without an agent. eBay is kind of just a middleman. Serious question. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Jessica. Question. We need a serious question.
So what?
Oh my gosh. I mean, let me kind of just go I'm going to go real quickly through their acquisitions, okay? Because I have it right here, right? They acquired in April 2011 Postlets, an online real estate listing creation and distribution platform. They acquired, I don't know what Diverse Solution is, but they acquired that back in 2011 as well.
Wait. Bill Crane actually makes a very valid point. Zillow already generates more cash than all the franchises combined, with none of the compliance issues or management headaches. So I do not see them ever starting a brokerage. There's your whammy right there. They make more money right now than C21, Remax, Caldwell Banker, Tucker, et cetera, and they don't have to put up with any of the bullshit day to day. Janie sat next to me in the office meeting bullshit that we've got to deal with on a regular basis.
Who's Janie? What does she do?
I'm just throwing out, or Billy.
Oh.
Or Andrew. Andrew sat next to me in the office meeting and he smells. I got to put up with this bullshit. He's making more money on the transaction than I am. Zillow doesn't put up with any of that bullshit. They're never going to replace us. And if they do, Realtor's right there behind the door to follow up behind them. But, we should really point our fingers at NAR for ever allowing this to happen.
Oh, okay. So great question. And John Grimes and I got into this earlier. If NAR owns Zillow, what would be different?
But NAR doesn't own Realtor.
What?
NAR doesn't own Realtor.
They don't, but that's what I'm saying. Let's pretend they do. Let's say NAR decides to listen to the whining and says, we're going to buy them because it's the only fair thing to do, and then we're going to do whatever you want. Well, what would we do? Would you still have a premier agent that NAR sells you as a service? Or would they give all the leads that all the people that are on that site coming in, what they give them only to the listing agent.
Always says they would sell it. The moment they bought it, they would sell it.
Correct. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to see this as an opportunity, just like the fact that we pay all these absorbent fees. And, they got a $40 realtor.com, which is retarded. When you can get one for $2.99 that does the same thing. They're not looking out for us any more than Zillow is or homes.com, whoever it is. It wouldn't change, except whose pocket the money was going in.
Misha, I would be honest with you. If I wasn't making money off of being a Premier agent, I would not be a Premier agent. I'm honest with you.
That's probably the same across the board.
But but if Zillow went away tomorrow, shut up, dog. If Zillow went away tomorrow, I would still close as many homes as any other agent out there.
Okay, so what does that mean? But they're not going away.
If Zillow went away, I still know what the hell I got to do to close more deals. I still have the knowledge in the back of my head to do Facebook ads, to do Google ads, to do Twitter ads, and I'm doing those now. I'm starting radio ads next week.
And so Larry, just so you know, the thing that spurred this is Zillow's instant offers.
Yes.
And that's a very niche consumer, a niche seller that, that's the type of guy that might answer a bandit yellow sign that says, "We buy stupid, ugly houses." That they don't want a realtor anyways, and they just want out fast. Their mindset is fast and easy. And most likely they know that their house isn't worth top dollar, because no one, even stupid people, want as much money as possible. If that's where we're going with these uninformed people that will use this service, that they don't know what they're getting into. It's just, it's silly. But we've got a whole industry of 2 million agents and realtors that don't even do anything in this particular niche, and yet they're all up in arms like the world's ended, the sky's falling. It's not.
But again, I'm talking about perception, right? If Zillow can show that there's a way to automate a real estate transaction without the agent involved, right? Then what's next? What else is possible, right? Like I said, why did they buy .loop, right? They bought .loop so that they can have a database of all the transactions that are going on using .loop. They know everything about every single transaction. And there's probably .loops being signed right now. So they're constantly getting the information. Are they farming it? Who knows? But why would you own .loop? That's all I'm asking. Right?
I don't know, man.
I'm afraid.
What?
I'm afraid that they're going to take the .loop information and they're going to sell it back to us. Like me, as a lender, I'm afraid, because now all of a sudden those people that I did a .loop with, they're being pitched by other lenders for refi because there's a premier lender who bought the information from my deals.
Overpaid? Do you think agents are overpaid?
No, I don't think agents are overpaid.
All right.
Oh, man. Jessica was going to beat your ass.
Oh. I didn't know she asked that question.
Hey,
shut up.
No,
Larry,
I don't think
Larry, I got a question for you, though. Knowing that Zillow Group is a publicly traded company with shareholders that want to profit, and they saw an opportunity to buy another business that they could sell services into the same industry that they're already focused on, doesn't that seem like a potentially good, acquisition? Just for the profit?
Yes,
just to make the money.
Yes. I totally understand what you're saying. It makes sense, right? But if you look at the different acquisitions they made, some of them are not as big or profitable, but they're still buying them. Why are they buying all these different businesses? That's what you have to ask. They paid only 13 million for Naked Apartments, but they paid 108 million for Dot Loop. So they're valuing things for certain reasons because of the potential growth or business they can get out of it. I mean, don't you think they're pitching these shareholders, hey, by the way, we're going to buy Dot Loop, and guess what that means? We're going to know everything about every single transaction that everyone uses for Dot Loop, which will give us growth. I mean, don't you think they're pitching that to the shareholders? I think
But here's my
if I was the
question:
CEO,
has
that's what I'd be
Dot Loop
pitching.
continued to grow after Zillow bought it?
Maybe, probably not.
I don't know.
The only thing that made Dot Loop even valuable was the fact that it was the KW go-to option that automatically had it. There was a ton of use, but at the same time, in this particular situation, whether it's owned by Zillow or Bob or whatever the original guy that owned it, there's highly strict confidentiality laws that those guys have to follow. Doesn't matter who owns the company. You can't just. That's like saying that ZipLogic or DocuSign, they have all the same information. Why is this evil owner of Zillow that just wants to make money? He bought this thing to plot against it and market to a bunch of people that just bought houses. That they know from all their data that they're not buying another house for 7 years. So is it their 7-year growth plan? Is that what it is? We're gonna.
Okay.
Mr. Shareholder, in 7 years, we are going to kill it because of Dot Loop and what we know.
Let me tell you real quick. Wait, let me chime in real quick, okay? I worked for a lender. I'm not going to name which one. I worked for a lender that would actually design the system so that in the CRM, so that after we sold them a house, they would actually put them in the CRM to follow up with them to do a refinance. Okay, they actually they preemptively set up the deal so that we can, let's put it this way. They said, hey, pitch them a higher rate. That way it makes more sense for them to refinance later on. Okay, and we didn't pitch a higher rate to make more money. We pitched a higher rate and we would help them with closing costs or something like that. So they still got the same deal, but instead of paying money out of pocket to pay for closing costs, they would finance at a higher rate. Well, if you have a higher rate, it's easier to refinance 6 months from now, a year from now. And I've had customers, because I switched lenders since then, I've had customers I called up and say, hey, I'm with a new lender, I can help you refinance. And they're like, oh yeah, they already refinanced me. I'm like, dude, you just bought the house like 6 months ago. So trust me, farming your deals is a regular practice in the mortgage industry. And I'm telling you, Zillow is doing the same exact thing. They know about every single transaction. They are putting drip programs and they're I mean, how are they going to keep on making money? By getting this information and selling it back to you.
Okay, you know
That's
what?
All I'm saying.
Larry, grab the documents that you have to agree to when you sign up for any of these online contract signing tools. Dotloop, ZipLogic, DocuSign, any of them. There's 4 or 5 of them. There's specific language that says this, what you're describing, will not happen. And if it does, it will be so easy to track. So, and to hopefully get a couple of refis. I don't think Zillow Group and all their shareholders are going to give up their company and drive themselves to jail because they got a few refis. It's not going to happen. It's a funny, it's an interesting theory, but it's, like,
I'm just using refis as an example.
I mean,
I believe in aliens?
To help me understand, do you believe in aliens? Do you think we're alone?
Yeah.
Yes,
I believe.
Think the Earth is flat or round? Let's start there. Are you the Earth is flat guy?
The Earth is round like my head.
Yeah, that's a pretty flat top there.
All right.
They bought Dotloop because Dotloop has real-time data on purchase offers and pending contract sales prices 30 to 120 days prior to closing, and that information is highly valuable to data aggregators and their whole value aggregator algorithms.
What are you reading?
Bill Crane's the reason why they bought Download.
And all that could be true,
and
but not anywhere in there does he say they're selling it to agents to refi properties. It's to better understand the market, that makes sense, you know?
Okay, so I mean, who knows what they're using the information for, right? But obviously they're using it to market, right, or develop their systems better, right? Whether it's internal or whether they sell it to the consumer or another business, who knows? But it's making them more powerful. That's the bottom line I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that Zillow's using it to empower themselves, one way or another. So Jessica's asking, what is my plan, right?
Yeah, how do you fix it, Larry?
Well, I mean, by being the upper echelon, like you guys, okay? I have a lead trap, okay? I'm going to describe the lead trap. Lead trap, basically a way to gain leads, right? My lead trap is designed exactly how Zillow's lead trap is. What I mean by that is if you go to Zillow.com and you click lending or you're looking for mortgages, right? They ask you a series of questions. I ask the same exact question. I do exactly like this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating mechs, right? Not a robot. It's something I control myself. So it's like me wearing a robotic suit. Okay, that's how I would compare it. But I'm literally emulating all the automations or creating, easier, more streamlined systems. Like I have borrowers who I never talk to on the phone because they want to do everything online and they want to do everything on the phone. So I make sure my applications are easy to view over the phone, whatever they want. So it's kind of like creating a Rocket Mortgage, but it's controlled by me because ultimately Zillow is controlled by man. Right? I mean, I know there's automations and there's AI, but it's controlled by man. So I'm just doing the same thing on a smaller scale and pushing it on my local market. Because again, you're not going to beat the Rocket Mortgage, right? So you gotta win in your backyard. So I'm doing the same thing, but amongst my sphere of influence and amongst the people that I'm around. That way, even if the sky falls down, I have an umbrella so it doesn't hit my head. That's what I'm doing.
All right, so let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about. Let's say Larry's right. The world is flat. There's aliens. God could come back. I mean, I don't know. And Zillow's plan is to take over the real estate industry, and
right.
which means the simplest thing that has to happen is they have to become a brokerage. Now, if they did that, their competition would be Redfin. Okay? And
right.
Guess what? Redfin has a bunch of agents that work for them. A bunch. They're doing exactly what we're worried that Zillow might do, is become a brokerage. And if it was more profitable and possible, why wouldn't Redfin be doing their business without the real estate agent? Go ahead and answer now.
My theory is that Redfin is ran by people who are not as intelligent as the people who are running Zillow. That's my theory. Zillow's a little bit smarter in that they are slowly creeping themselves in every aspect of the transaction. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if they started their own mortgage company like a Rocket Mortgage. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know how much Rocket Mortgage is, but maybe they'll acquire Quicken. Who knows? I don't know. But I see them slowly seeping in every part of the transaction. I mean, Redfin is ahead of their time, is what I would say. Right? Zillow's doing a little bit more intelligently, a little bit more smart.
But going back to where you first started, is what you said was Zillow being business people are smarter than Redfin because Redfin's run by realtors, right? So basically you're saying realtors are stupid. So now you said we're overpaid and stupid. Like,
I didn't know Redfin was ran by realtors. I didn't know that. But
you guys keep talking. I'm working on a deal, so don't worry about me.
Nice. Are they pre-approved?
Yeah, we got an accepted offer.
You stuttered. They're not. You're lying.
Got an accepted offer, bitch.
Okay,
USAA.
so have you read the reviews, Dave? I don't know, man. USAA is kind of scary to me.
I've done one deal with USAA and they were perfect.
Okay, well, you got lucky then.
I'll give you that.
I don't know. There's no proof, man. There's no proof. And then at this point though, you're trading dollars for dollars. And are you making by becoming a brokerage, if you're Zillow, becoming a brokerage and eliminating agents. And hey, let's even go back up a little bit. If there's millions and millions of dollars made across the country from buy-sell side of housing, of transaction, closed sales on houses, why do you think Zillow's, I mean, you've just said that they're really smart business people, smarter than realtors. Why would they not want to collect that money for themselves instead of just eliminating the service? Because if they eliminate the service, they can't charge the fee. There can't be
Right.
a 6% fee to have a non-agent transaction. Because even anyone's going to go, well, what's that? Well, that's the fee we normally pay agents, but you don't have to worry about that because they're not going to bother you. You just have to pay this.
Okay, so the main reason why I got involved in this conversation in general is when I found out that Zillow was ran by the people who started Expedia, right? When I found that out, I was like, holy crap, Zillow is making moves. That's the way I looked at it. They're playing chess. They're playing. It's the art of war. They're slowly putting their pieces where they're going to dominate the market, right? That's the connection I made. Okay, so maybe Zillow is innocent. Maybe Zillow doesn't, like the people who run Expedia, who effectively disrupted the travel agency market and eventually hired them to work for them, basically. Maybe they don't have the same intentions with Zillow. I doubt it, right?
But you got to remember, travel agencies were doomed to be replaced at any moment.
I agree. Well, it's complete. It's different. And what's interesting, Larry, I'll share this with you. And since you guys like data and you think everyone's mining information, one of the top CRM owners, his family owns the top internet travel agency that's replaced all these that's existed with Expedia. So I don't know. Maybe he's secretly a shareholder at Zillow. I don't know.
And you got to remember, not all travel agents are gone. Only the ones that were worth shit are gone.
And that whole thing is different. I mean, that's a fun thing that you do on kind of in your free time is look around and the reason that, in my opinion, the reason that the travel agents are gone is because they based their job on selling tickets and renting hotels, where the ones that still exist are doing like Dave's, diesel dealer, doing videos, talking about the places that they've actually traveled to. They're explaining how they're putting trips together. They're putting experiences together, and people are buying that. If I just want to go book a hotel, I'm gonna do that myself. But if I want to go somewhere where I've never been, but I want to do some stuff, it's worth it to me to maybe call someone, because again, it's like a buyer's agent. You're not paying for it. They're being paid out of some sort of, commission from the sale. So, but yeah, it's definitely different.
Two of the largest YouTube channels are travel channels, and they get paid to travel and show off the experience of traveling to certain places.
Yeah.
This really is about video, believe it or not. So why aren't we using video to sell more homes?
I think that. Okay, good question. Maybe for a different topic, but you're talking about
different day.
You're talking about agent types of tours, not videos of homes, not like virtual tours, like actually
We're talking
talking
about
properties.
selling the sizzle. We're not selling the sizzle. We're selling the steak. We're not selling the sizzle. I mean, this is a great apartment. This is really a great apartment. I'm close to downtown.
Yeah.
So what
You're
I'm
reminded that every
not
time
going to
the
show
train
what
goes
I'm not
by.
going to do is do a video when the damn train goes by. I'm not going to show you the house on the train schedule.
Right.
But I
Right.
don't think it matters because you know what I haven't heard in the last 2 nights? The train. I only heard it the first 2 nights. The last 2 nights, haven't heard it.
Yeah. But legally, you're still, at some point, Dave, when you get into escrow, you're going to have to disclose that there's a noisy train. Or you're
If
going
they
to
can't figure out they're a block away from a fucking train station, is it my fault?
Yes, it is actually.
No, it is
If you know
not.
about it. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes.
I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game with you because
Oh.
I'm the guy that will talk you out of a house and then into a house
Okay.
because I don't want to sell you a city house. But if you're not smart enough to figure out that you're literally a block away from a train tracks, then you don't deserve to buy a house.
So Larry, in your mind, that means he's selling this house to a realtor that doesn't know any better. He's
Right.
stupid and not a businessman.
Yeah. Okay, so Jessica, she kind of put out a comment saying the market is the market. You keep using words like screwed and disrupted. It's not what the industry wants, it's what the consumer wants. I'm assuming she's addressing or talking to me. And that's what I'm actually pointing out. I'm pointing out that Zillow,
Franklin.
so
sorry.
Zillow is a very public business. It's like I said, it's the quote quote authority when it comes to real estate, right? I mean, that's why Zestimates is such a big deal because it's literally convincing people these houses are valued when in reality they're valued more than that. But Zestimates are lower than I guess normal. But again, it's what the consumer believes, right? I mean, I said I had like a vlog. I talked about what's more dangerous than information. It's the voice. It's what people say and who's listening to the voice. So I think Zillow has a big voice, and Zillow is going to inspire more businesses and more startups that are going to attack the real estate market and of course the lending market. So yeah, I mean that's what my fear. I mean Zillow's they're just a piece of the entire chessboard, right? They're making moves, but there's gonna be more pieces that are gonna start moving because of what Zillow's doing. That's all I'm saying, right? I'm really worried that just like the art business, just like the website design business, and just like the car business that I've already experienced, being automated. I think the real estate industry is ultimately the lending industry, which is what I'm in, is going to be automated too. And it kind of sucks that it seems like Zillow's making money off of whatever realtors are paying them for advertising.
So there's a comment, we're going back to the train that Dave was going to lie about. There's a comment that says to use the term as is. Well, the way I've always been trained by multiple brokers that every house is sold as is. And Dave's train still needs to be disclosed, and it can still be a reason to opt out of the contract. I mean, there's as is a term. I mean, everything is still negotiable. That doesn't void anything. So it doesn't stop, and it doesn't mean you don't have to disclose that you have this crazy train.
There's a story. A friend of mine bought a house. He bought it he put an offer on January 1st. It was a very snowy day. He didn't buy it through me. I wasn't even a realtor then. It was a very snowy day that day. The roads were closed, the whole 9 yards. But he had a 4-wheel drive truck. He was determined to look at this house. So they bought this house, not knowing that it was on the main drag of the town. Now, was it the realtor's job to tell them, hey, you're buying a house on the main drag of town, the main thoroughfare of the town?
Yeah, I think if anything, it would be.
I think it was because here's the line that I use with every new buyer that I meet. Hey, I am more guilty of talking you out of a house than into a house. Because the last thing I want you to do is buy a shitty house. Because I don't want you to run into me at Jewel or Strax and punch me in the face for selling you a shitty house. So I will tell you things that you don't want to hear about the house. Is it too close to trains? Are the floors uneven? Do I see something that you don't see? Do I smell something that you don't smell? I will tell you all these things. Why? Because I don't want to sell you a shitty house. I want you to have a good experience with the Daver.
Yeah, but
And they all love the Daver because whatever house they buy, they bought knowing I gave them every opportunity to go, you know what? This doesn't look even. Man doesn't look as if it's gonna chop your head off any day now.
dude, Larry? Are you like sucking like balloons or something there secretly? Like, what are you doing?
What? No. I just.
He's like on a
David,
helium high.
if they want to buy a shitty house, they're buying it with the full knowledge. I think it's a shitty house.
Okay. Well, and so you can see Dave Fresquez is saying it's all in the contract, and he's absolutely right. It is. But that's where but again, that's where the seller is now drawing a line. And if he's not willing to negotiate, then he might lose a couple buyers here and there. It might take a little longer. It might sell just because it's the right property, you know? But putting some words like as is in a contract doesn't mean that the buyer can't ask for something different. And it doesn't mean that you're don't disclose what's going on. It means that you're saying that I don't care. I want this price, and that's it. It doesn't let you avoid being honest.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I quit listening to you as avoid.
so Jessica, she's correcting what I was saying. She said that.
But Jessica's a woman. She will correct you any damn day of the week.
Well, she's saying I'm not saying it's about the consumer wants. It's what the consumer wants, not what they believe.
Well, you already said realtors are stupid anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. This might be Larry's last time on the show. I mean, he thinks we're all morons.
I definitely want to buy a house without a realtor if possible, right? But I'm smart enough to realize that that's not a good idea, right? That's how I am. So I want to do without a realtor, but I can't do it because I know it's stupid to do so, and I can't make a stupid decision, right?
Take it from a guy who sold his own house. Use a realtor.
yes. And I don't know if you guys saw my video. I talked about like how I tried to change my toilet by myself, and it was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life.
Oh, like, I would never do that. That's a shitty job.
No, yeah, it was shitty. But the toilet leaked, and I mean, 2 weeks later, I had to hire a professional. Anyways, it was stupid. It was, and I'm like, there's a reason why there's professionals, right? No matter how much I want to avoid it, no matter how much YouTube I can do, I can't replace the professional. Period. Right?
What's the old saying? You think a professional is expensive? Hire an amateur.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe in that. Right. And what Jessica's saying is what people want. People are going to go the easy route. I mean, that's why YouTube's so popular right now. That's why DIY is so popular. People are literally trying to do things on their own. Right.
YouTube is not a new business, Dave. Like, that didn't deserve a bell.
It is a business, so it deserved a bell.
We talked about YouTube earlier, though. I mean, so that bell's a little late.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bell gets rung when I goddamn want to ring the bell.
But the point I'm trying to make here is that people are literally,
an asshole.
They're literally.
Yes, he is.
Thank you.
So people are literally trying to do everything on their own, right? They want to save.
You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it, Andrew?
What?
Did that hurt your feelings?
Nope. I don't have feelings. It makes it easy. I don't care. you guys are all wrong, and I'm okay with that. I'm all, it's fine.
But
It's, you lead a horse to the water. If they don't drink, it's not my fault. But Dave, you still got to tell them the water's been pissed in. That's the one thing that you have to do. You have to disclose that.
I always disclose. I disclose too much.
So I forgot what I was saying, dude. I totally forgot. Oh.
Larry, the Indians are getting restless, man. They're gonna attack you.
Yeah, I know, and it's okay. I mean, I knew that this might happen, right? But I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of research on
Dave's like a
on
spazzy little kid, like.
I need a bell. I need to get one of those.
No, you don't. Only
Yeah,
I have the bell. Only I have the bell, and I will kick you off the show if you have your own bell.
This is what I got. I got bubbles. See, I got bubbles. That's what I got.
You like
Does that
pulling
count?
bubbles, don't you?
Yeah. See, I got bubbles. That's what happened when you live in a house with a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-month-old, right?
Realtor Against Nard brought to you by the Three Stooges.
Hey, Mo.
Oh man. So I did research, and The Economist said that the probability of people getting replaced by robots, real estate agents are 86% replaceable, right? And I was like, man, that sucks. But I heard but an Oxford study showed that 98% was loan officers. I mean, it's crazy. Like they said, the probability of automation is loan officers is the highest at 98%.
What do you do? Let's be honest. What do you guys do? Hey, let me ask you this, Larry. Let's real question here.
I'm listening.
How long have you been a mortgage agent?
A year and a half.
How many deals have you given to a stupid realtor? Your words, not mine.
Wait. How many deals?
How many people have contacted you to get pre-approved, and you said, I got to connect you with Dave Woodson. He has a cool haircut. How many? It's zero. It's zero because you can't even think. It's none.
No, I have. Over a dozen at least.
I have. That was like a Dave answer.
No, I used to work for a call center. No, I used to work for a call center, and all we got were broken down, abandoned borrowers who got rejected by their lenders or rejected by realtors. So they would come to us because we had lending tree leads. So a lot of these people were orphans. So we would get them pre-approved, and then we would find realtors to give them away to. So, I mean, I gave away over a dozen deals last year at least. I mean, nowadays, most of my leads are...
But now that you're a standalone agent,
he was just about to disclose that, about the train in the background.
Now you're a standalone broker.
Now I'm a standalone loan officer. I don't give any away because most of my deals come from realtors anyways. They already have somebody. It's very few that people kind of come up to me without an agent already. So, yeah.
But why aren't you marketing yourself to get the agent to come to me before you get the agent?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if I was to do that, I would alienate all my real estate partners. I am pro realtor. Okay, I tell them every single time. I even have a video that I'm making.
I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
I disagree with you. I think you're wrong. I think you would make more money if you partner with some agents. How many realtors give you regular business? 10, 12, 20?
No, closer to like maybe 8 to 10. Not that many.
Let's call it 10. How many? Let's say where are you at, Texas?
Yes.
How many Asians are in Texas? Like 7, 8?
How many agents are in Texas?
Yeah.
There's a lot. I don't know the number.
All right. So back to the point. as a side note, I'm just checking. So how many counties or like cities could realtors target? Is there more than 10? Like if I wanted to be the
Uh,
expert of whatever community in
at
your
most,
city.
at most 3 or 4. I mean, that you can't do 10. That's just too many counties. 3 or 4 would be the most. Maybe 2 or 3
An
would
agent
be
could do 3
average.
or 4 is what you're saying.
An
No,
agent can
he's
do
in he's
two,
in
3 or 4.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how many small communities are in Dallas?
You mean small towns?
Sure, whatever you want to call it. I don't
Uh,
care.
I don't know, like at least 20, maybe 30.
All right. We'll go with 20. Is Texas round or flat? Just to clear things up.
Texas is probably the only state that's flat because Texas is its
That's a
own country. You know what I'm saying? Everyone
Texas is
everyone
flat,
else
but
is
the
around,
world is still round. Okay, so
yes.
what if you told 20 agents that you were going to be their only mortgage partner in this particular city? You said you and me are going to do everything in this city to try and get us more business. I
What's the
guarantee you would
question?
make more money by having 20
You're
different
saying
guys focus on 20 cities.
you're talking about having 20 different realtors focus on 20 different cities? Is that what you're saying?
Yep. And all 20 of those people would rely on you. They would, because here's the thing. Right now, when you say to me, I need my realtors, I don't want to alienate them. What I hear is you don't care about me. You just want a realtor to send you business. That's what
Well,
I hear. No,
I
don't say
need
yeah because like we gotta take that back because you're talking to realtors. You don't want
yes.
that. There's like you want to be pro realtor. How do I help your business, not help my business?
Yeah, that's the reason. But you're asking me how come I don't promote myself? How come I don't just advertise myself? I try to cold market. That's what I always try to do, right? Whenever I talk to a realtor, I always to find out what they might need in terms of marketing, and I try to fulfill that if I can. And a lot of the things that I can provide, they don't know anything about, or they don't have any experience in. So I really do tilt myself as the marketing expert when it comes to finding business, right?
All right, so
But
well, since we hate Zillow, let's use them as an example. They sell I think they sell them per zip codes. They sell 3 slots per zip code, and then they have the listing agent as well. So you got 4. So they've at least, I know we hate them, but they've at least said we're only going to take money from 4 people, or actually 3 people, for this zip code. Now, that's actually a
right.
little bit of a commitment to those agents. They know that they have a partnership that's not going to be broken. They feel a little bit special, and they know that if they call you and send you business from that zip code, that you're potentially going to get a lead also from that zip code and send it back to them. It's, you're reciprocating. But if you come in these, and I have so many conversations with mortgage guys that say, I want to do business with you because I answer my phone. Well, that's a given. If you don't, I'm never calling you again. I work hard. Again, that's a given. Those are bare minimums. You got to find some way to create extra value and make me feel important. I mean, especially if you're courting me somehow.
Right.
There's got to be, and that's what I'm saying. If you told, even if you told 10, if you have your 10, split those 10 up between, give them all 2 zip codes. Say, we're going to focus on these 2 zip codes together. I have 9 other guys, but I'm not doing anything with them. Only you. All of a sudden, I mean, maybe I never get a deal from you, but I guarantee you every time I have a deal, I'm going to go, man, that guy committed to me. And as a realtor, we know that you guys send us less leads than we would get on our own. I mean, that's just because we know that half of your leads come from, or more come from, our competition, other realtors. But I'm telling you, partner with somebody in a way that makes them feel important, that they could, without necessarily seeing your business, could understand. Okay, I understand. He's only working with me in this zip code. Oh, what do you got? Okay, all right.
The the problem with that, Andrew, is a realtor can automatically drop me at any time, right? Let's say for some reason.
Now we're no, turn off, please, thank you. Now we're stupid and we're gonna drop you at any time. If you don't trust us, think we're dumb.
It happens to me. It happens to me before, where I'll be working really hard to develop a relationship with a realtor, and I develop all these systems for them, and all of a sudden they stop answering their phone calls or emails, and I found out it's because some other loan officer sold something to them or bought something from them or did something that made them want to work with them more than work with me. So I can't put all my eggs in one basket. I mean, that's ridiculous. That I would starve if I focus my energy on one realtor, because again, that one realtor can drop me anytime. I mean, there's no commitment, right?
But so that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, what you just told me is you have about 10 regular agents. What I'm saying is commit to them. Call them tomorrow and go, look, hey, I just looked at our deals. These are the zip codes that they came from. I'm splitting up my territory to maximize my time to help people better. And since all businesses come from these zip codes, you work there. We've done it together. I'm only going to work with you in these areas. That agent's going to feel like you give a shit about them. And even if you don't send them a bunch of business all of a sudden, they're going to send you more business. And it might be from some other zip codes. But what you're going to, just by doing that one thing, you're going to make these realtors feel like you give a shit about them. Ding your bell.
Okay, so you're basically saying be exclusive on a certain zip code with a particular. But how would I do that? I mean, you're saying I'm going to put all my marketing dollars on just that zip code? Is that what you're saying to me? What is it that you're proposing?
No. So now with these 10 agents, you probably, if you're sharing marketing or whatever, doing any type of lead gen, it's general, right? You're just doing lead gen. You have an ad that draws in, first time buyers or move ups or whatever. Well, don't all those people have a zip code where they live right now? Okay.
Yes, of course.
Split them up. And you call Dave and say, hey Dave, I just got a lead for someone in this zip code. They might want to buy, or it looks like they're gonna move up or sell a house. And because that's not my zip code that we agreed to, I'm not mad at you. I know the game. It's that simple. I mean, does this make sense? Am I lost?
If it was that easy, then yes, I would love to implement the system or idea that you have. But leads don't come that easily, where I can actually pick and choose. I mean, literally, again, I don't generate my own leads. Leads are given to me by the realtors, right?
Start generating your own leads.
I know. I actually did start doing that, but it got to the point where I was spending more time trying to convert my own leads instead of focusing on the leads that are given to me. And if someone's going to give me a client, I'm going to put all my energy on them. There's not enough me to go around, is what I'm saying. I'm always behind on all my follow up and everything else. I mean, I got like 5 files that I'm working on after you guys.
Where'd you find this guy, Dave? I'm just messing with you, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But yeah, I mean, I got like three files.
I mean, I'll give it to Larry. He's in a tough situation. He's in Dallas. Dallas is huge. Where you guys make fun of me being in a small market. I mean, I focus on two zip codes, actually about 4 zip codes.
Exactly. And so what if Larry said, "Hey, Gabe, you know what? I have 9 other agents I work with, but I only want to work with you in these zip codes. What can we do to grow our business?" Would you be like, "Hey, I'm interested in that."
My realtor does, you know what my broker does, or my mortgage broker does? He pays for a third of my Zillow in those zip codes.
There you go.
We can't do that.
Why can't you?
It's considered a violation of CFPB for us to pay for leads.
You're not paying for leads. You're paying for a third of my marketing through Zillow, and Zillow's got it set up correctly.
Tell me about it, because I was told that the way Zillow markets is a violation of the CFPB because you're paying for a referral, and whenever there's a kickback of any sort, whether you're paying it or you're receiving it, it's a violation of the
Well,
CFPB.
somehow Zillow's figured it out, man. All I can say is all I can say. I pay $1,100 a month because my mortgage broker partner pays $500 a month for my Zillow.
All right. So hold on. Wait, don't answer yet. But Eddie has a good question. So he's given a bunch of leads to his Larry, and his Larry hasn't given him any business back. He wants to know if he should dump Larry.
Yes,
and
he should.
My answer would be no, unless you meet someone better. But I think as a realtor, we've got to understand that more than half of a mortgage guy's business comes from our competition, other agents. So, they're always going to give us less business than we might give them.
But my mortgage guy has given me 3 referrals this year, and 2 of them have closed. Two of them have closed, and the other one we're still working on. I'm sorry, I was reading Jessica's. Hey, Larry, you want to pay for part of my Zillow? Hey, come on, Larry, come on, Larry.
Yep.
And just so Jessica knows, there's lots of things I do for realtor partners. She's saying graphic design skills help create material for agents. I do that. I create ads and I create flyers.
Larry, I will admit one thing to you right now. When I was a mortgage guy, I learned something very quickly. Realtors were whores. They'll take and 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 they'll never give. And I had a couple of those bitches that actually I gave them a referral to, and they gave my client to someone else. But you know what I did? I showed up to their office and they said, "You ever fucking do that again? I will slash your tires." Because that's my livelihood you're fucking with.
That's exactly why I like that guy.
That's my livelihood you're fucking with. I spent money to get those referrals in-house, and now you're giving them to someone else? Fuck you.
But
you ever fucking do that again? Because if you do that again,
Jessica,
I will crush you like a goddamn crate. Don't ever do. And I still see those agents out there today, and they're still pieces of shit. You know what? You know the difference between me and them? I close more than they do right now, and they've been in business 20 years longer than I have been. Because they're pieces of shit.
This is getting out of control. I like it when we drink a lot. Like, it gets fun right at the end.
And I've switched up drinks too, by the way.
Oh man, is that like a Clamato or that's definitely
it's a Bloody Mary.
Diarrhea, Dave. You're gonna have diarrhea. That's gross. That's good. All I'm saying, Larry,
David Fresco's, if you doubt me, do it to me, and I'll show up at your fucking office and threaten you. I'm the Tony Soprano of real estate. I'll show up in your office with a baseball bat.
Oh man, can you see Dave like showing up in your office, Larry, like dressed like the guy from Scary Movie with the white face on and the hood? Nice.
No, like Tony Soprano showing a big pussy's house with a baseball bat and smashing his wife's car with a Cadillac with a bat. That's me.
Yeah, because she spent all that money. She kept on asking for money, right?
Oh,
she kept on asking for money for help, and she went and bought a new car. Yeah, I remember that scene.
You know what, Ange? That's me. There's like 2 people I owe a baseball bat to. I keep a bat in my car. I'm kind of fucking around. I'll admit to that. But ultimately, it is my money you're fucking with. And I don't like that idea that someone's going to take my lead and give it to someone else. No, we're not playing that game.
Nobody fuck Dave's money. That's
don't count my money.
That's right. I don't know, Larry. I just think if you find a way that works for you, to partner with your agents a little bit tighter and make them, what I'm saying is make them feel important, and that will benefit you. I'm trying to
I'm not
help your
arguing with that.
business.
I'm definitely not
Yeah.
arguing with that.
We feel like, I mean, we feel like we get beat up. Zillow hates us, Realtor.com hates us, NAR hates us. You know, there's 1.5 million agents that hate us because we're their competition. I mean, it's tough life. Tough life.
Well, we're always the bad guy too, because we always close 1 day late, or we over condition, right? We ask borrowers for things that they think is is like asking for a kidney, So trust me, I side with you when it comes to being quote quote hated, right? Whatever you want to call it. But
Jessica, you see Jessica? She's like talking like a trucker over here. Good God.
What are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
Look at this right there. Look at this.
I'm trying to read what she's saying.
It's Words with Woodson. That's the Thursday night show. Larry doesn't hate us. He just thinks we're stupid. We're not good business people like the guys at Zillow.
Well, most of us are. Most of us are idiots. Most agents are the biggest idiots in the world.
I'm so glad I pushed to have the show. I mean, it's just wonderful, I mean, I feel the love. I already see people unfriending me.
You're absolutely right. I showed a house in South Bend on yesterday. I called the agent on Friday. You know what? That bitch still hasn't called me back. How does she know that I don't have a offer for her?
Okay, I don't know why you're saying I'm right. I didn't say anything about realtors. I mean, now it's like even worse. Now, like,
is that one of your agents, Larry? Is that one of the agents you work with, Larry?
Eddie, you're not stupid. Eddie, you are learning from the feet of gods at this point. We're almost walking on water over here.
Larry, I gotta look, but Larry, you are doing us a service because normally it's me against Dave, but now we've combined our forces to be against you.
So I'm the friendly fire guy. Is that what's happening today?
That's right.
If you're friendly, that it is.
Right. You're of the group. You're the common enemy. So it's going to make us work stronger together by hating you.
Perfect. I can't wait to be on every show then. Yeah, I want to be a regular, so you guys can give me shit more and more often. That's awesome.
That's all right. You're like our little
We're almost 2 hours into this, and we have 12 viewers at this point. 13.
I know. It's been pretty consistent too. I don't know. It's probably never been the same 12 the whole time.
Mary Shannon's in the room. Hey. Mary Shannon's in the room. Be nice. Larry, don't say anything stupid. Lurch. Be nice.
I think the reason why the viewership is so high because they enjoy watching you guys beat the crap out of me. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, everyone's probably taking out all the frustration on lenders on me. I mean, that's what it feels like right now.
Hey, Mary Shannon, how are you tonight, babe?
You're talking about a lender to me is the most important part of a transaction, and and that's why for me I want to have someone that I know is in my corner, because
there's a giggler.
I think he's like sipping, like sucking on like balloons or something, like helium. I'm looking at him.
I'm vaping is what I'm doing right now.
It's like an
VCR vapor.
That's like some
VCR vapor.
That was like a full gamer helium thing, like just up all night helium. Go.
Oh my God.
Honestly, Larry,
at this hour, 13 is pretty high.
You are the guy. You are the part of the transaction that is highly important. And the more that I get to know my mortgage guys, the better every deal I do is for everybody, you know. And that's why I say if you decide to work with a limited number of agents, and if those agents aren't bringing you business and you're helping them, then you have to have the tough conversation. Hey, you're not putting out. I got to move on. You know, I got to fill this slot with someone else, and that's a fair conversation to have.
Right.
You know, but you got to be willing to break up. You know, before prom.
This is the most commented video we've ever had.
That's good, I guess.
But I agree. My lender is the most important member of my team because without him, we don't close shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And he buys me lunch every week.
Hmm.
And I get that.
Big baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy any of my realtors lunch, so you're making me look bad now if any of my realtors are watching right now.
He buys me lunch every week. He travels from Chicago to Valparaiso every week to meet with me. And we've become friends. I think I would say he's one of my 5 friends that I talk to. Well, he's someone that I talk to on a regular basis outside of the business. That I'll call him and talk to him about racing or whatever. I'll call him and talk to him talk to him.
We can't talk about race in real estate, dude. So
racing.
No.
Racing. I don't racing. It's about redneck stuff.
Oh. That's a big no.
So something that I want to disclose for you guys, right?
You work for Zillow.
One of the no. One of the reasons why I make such a big deal about what's happening with Zillow is because I already know what needs to be done to combat it, at least as a lender. And I have a theory as to what you can do as a realtor to not be eaten away by whatever's happening with the automation. So
I think this is how we end tonight. This is
I'm trying to bring value. I mean, I'm not saying, hey, you guys are all extinct or you guys are all, useless or whatever. That's not what I'm saying.
How are dinosaurs? God. It's like digging this hole.
That's not the point of my message, right? What I'm saying is listen, be aware and prepare for it. That's what my message is. That's what I'm thinking, because I wasn't prepared the 3 times I was automated, right? But this time I plan to be, and I think that we can do something about it. I mean, honestly, by like Dave said, being that video guy talking about the cars. I mean, that guy's still around. That guy's still doing well. Why? Because he's doing something different than every other car salesman is doing. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's what I'm trying to represent. If anything, we need to not just lay down is what I'm saying. Hopefully that makes sense.
Well, I mean, we might not be smart enough to get us out of this hole, Derry. As old as we are.
That's okay. That's why you have me. I'm here.
There you go. Yeah, but since you won't take us to lunch, we're not going to have any energy.
Oh shit.
No kidding.
If that's what it takes to do business with you guys, fine. I'll buy you lunch, whatever. If it's compliant.
So here's a little funny.
Hold on. Let me just recap Larry's value proposition. I don't work with limited number of agents. I don't buy you lunch. I don't do any type of lead gen. I mean. What? You answer your phone? Is that where we're at? I mean,
well, I do answer my phone, that's for sure. But that's not what I'm selling. I would never that's kind of stupid to say that the reason why you should work with me is because I'll answer my phone. That's already making the lenders look bad. If that's how you're going to differentiate yourself by saying that you want to answer the phone. No.
So when I was a lender, I worked in
I think
an all
Jessica
male.
made a spelling error.
Who made a spelling error?
I think it was Jessica. Looks like she tried to spell a bad word. It didn't work.
What's your number, Larry? How can we contact Larry if we want to talk to Larry after this show?
God.
Okay, I'll give it to you right now. I'll type it in.
So when I was a broker or a mortgage guy, no, I'm not gonna tell the story. It's too embarrassing.
Yeah, because you've never done that before.
I'm too drunk to tell the story at this point.
Dude, isn't that the number that ET calls home? 837-52069.
8675309.
All right.
Can you give my?
All right. If you guys got some value from Larry, shoot him a text tonight and let him know. Wait till really late though.
All right, guys.
Oh, by the way, if you feel the same way I do, right? Which I don't know if I recruited anybody with this broadcast. I actually started a group for the anti-Zillow crowd, so I can
invite me to it, Larry.
if you guys want to join. Okay.
I'll be the antithesis to the group.
Is this a comedy group?
No, it's a real group.
Oh.
Invite me to it. Invite me to it. I dare you.
Yeah, man, I'm in. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link down here and after the conversation is over, so anyone who watches this broadcast can always go to that link and I'll definitely
last year I was on the Zillow stage here in Chicago. I was in the Zillow stage here in Chicago. Dang.
What does that mean?
I was one of their pimps, one of their prize hogs. I was up there selling their services from the stage.
What?
What?
You did what?
Last June, I assume, about a year ago. I was still a premier agent. I was on stage at Zillow here in Chicago.
Jessica, you need to spell that word correctly.
You gotta spell with a W.
Yeah. Hey, no wonder. Did you get a discount on your premier? Position?
I didn't get a bump in the leads.
Nothing. So again, this is just like I said, and you're not impartial. This whole conversation is invalid now because you're not an impartial judge.
I never said I was.
We wasted 2 hours because you lied to us. You didn't tell us about the train. Now you didn't tell us that you work for Zillow. Like this.
I'm answering David.
I gotta go. I can't take this. I'm hurt. I am hurt.
I just put the link on the live, so you guys can always click there if you want to join. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm answering questions. All right, Larry, I'm kicking you off, buddy.
You're kicking me off?
Say good night.
All right.
We're done. Hey, guys, I appreciate Larry and Andrew being on the show tonight. Any questions, feel free to give me a call, 219-872-8000. You can text me that number as well, 219-872-8000. I appreciate y'all tuning in for a 2 hour Wine with Woodson. You can email me at dwoodson@gmail.com. Stay tuned for next week. I'm not sure I'm going to have on,
but I'm sure won't top this evening's show. Stop in for another exciting wine with Woodson, and I always appreciate you guys stopping in, your questions and what have you. Any other questions? Feel free to question me, email me, text me, call me. We'll go from there. Talk to you soon.